Hello, welcome to this webinar on Digital Economy Trends 2024, organized by DCO. Let us wait a couple of more minutes for some participants to join, and we will continue shortly. Stay tuned. All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. My name is Bilal Qureshi, and I will be your host and moderator for this webinar. I'd like to introduce you to our esteemed speakers joining us today. We have with us Dr. Syed Iftikhar Shah, who leads the Digital Research Lab at the Digital Cooperation Organization. He works on mega digital research and innovation initiatives to enable growth of sustainable digital economy. We also have with us Sangamitra Pati, who is a leader in the AI and data practice in US India Deloitte. She leads and builds AI and data capabilities that deploy AI solutions with human-centered design, advanced AI and ML models, and full-stack technology development as well. Our next speaker is also Nirmal Kumar. Nirmal is a senior manager in the AI and data practice at Deloitte, with a focus on implementing AI projects for global manufacturing, supply chain, and technology entities. He helps clients accelerate AI adoption and then scale AI deployments in the enterprise to drive measurable business results. Finally, we have Faisal Salim with us. Faisal is an esteemed tech industry visionary with a journey spanning 3 decades, starting from Pakistan and extending to the technological corridors of Silicon Valley. His career highlights include the founding of multiple IT firms, leveraging his extensive know-how in AI, healthcare, fintech, and computer vision to synergize technology with business goals. To all our speakers, thank you for joining us today. So some quick housekeeping items to address before we begin. This webinar will run for a duration of 1 hour, where we will have our speakers' interventions and some time allocated for questions and answers at the end. The webinar will be recorded. The purpose of recording is to share it with those who are not able to attend today's session, unfortunately. However, this recording will also be available on DCO's YouTube channel. We are open for participants to pose questions during the session using the Zoom chat feature. However, all your questions will be addressed during our 15-minute Q&A session at the end. Finally, we request the webinar audience to participate in the polls and survey that will be presented to you during and at the end of the webinar. As mentioned earlier, the time allocated for this webinar is 60 minutes, which comprises of 45 minutes of presentation, followed by a 15-minute QA session. And it is organized into 3 main agenda items. The first item will be an introduction to the Digital Economy Trends Report of 2024. This will be done by Dr. Syed, during which he will cover the high-level value proposition of the methodology of the report, the digital economy blueprint, key themes, and associated trends from the report itself. The second item of the agenda will be an in-depth fireside chat centered on one of the digital economy trends theme, particularly artificial intelligence, featuring our expert speakers from today. And this will be covering, we'll be covering other themes in the future sessions, but today's particular theme will be on artificial intelligence. In the final part, we'll be opening the floor to our webinar audiences, aiming to address any of your questions at the end at the 15-minute session. With that said, let us move to the first item of this agenda. Dr. Syed, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Bilal. Good afternoon. In the first edition of DCO Digital Economy Trend Report webinar, I am excited to present the DCO Digital Economy Trend Report value proposition, offering a high-level overview of the report, the methodology adopted, and a holistic structure of the report to describe the identified trends themes. The Digital Economy Trend Report is envisioned to serve as a one-stop shop, a comprehensive resource of insight on the digital economy. By consolidating a wealth of information, it provides a streamlined pathway of access to vital information and facilitate informed decision-making with the digital landscape. The report also aims to offer guidance and a basis for the collaboration of stakeholders in the global digital economy ecosystems. The value proposition is enabled by the following aspects. A unique perspective on digital economy, an engine that showcases synergies between trends, sectors, and key enabling factors, a guide that offers a set of realistic steps that can be applied in short and medium-term plan, and a vital tool that can be utilized by the stakeholder to enhance the growth of digital economy. Furthermore, the Digital Economy Trend Reports initiative is aligned with the DCO Roadmap 2030 goal, data-driven digital economy. Next slide, please. The report focuses on various aspects such as digital technologies, digital economy trends, enabler implication, and recommended actions. Digital technologies such as AI, blockchain, big data, IoTs, and digital platforms are gaining importance in addressing global issues across multiple sectors, including economic domain, by creating employment opportunity, opening new market, improving access to financing, and boosting efficiency and transparency in the organization. Digital economy is a rapidly evolving concept covering a wide range of economic activities, transaction, interaction in the digital landscape. Its scope extends well beyond the confines of traditional industries, offering a new avenues for innovations. Digital economic trends refers to the evolving economic landscape driven by the widespread use and integration of digital technology, influencing how organizations operate, trade, and innovate. To ensure all stakeholders of global digital economy ecosystem are equipped with the correct information and tools to identify and act on the critical trends of today. The DCU has developed the first edition of this annual report. The report uncovers a digital economy roadmap for 2024 that only drives public and private sector into a new era of digital transformation, but also refine the future of our civil society. The report provides an outlook of digital economic trends, supporting enablers, and implication and recommended action for the stakeholders to boost a sustainable, safe, and human-centric digital economy. Next slide, please. Methodology adopted for the digital economic trends. The effectiveness and credibility of any trend report depend upon the establishment and execution of a well-defined comprehensive methodology. Therefore, the DCO trend report also adhered to a systematic scientific methodology. Our methodology consists of three dynamic phases. During the scan phase, a diverse array of data sources is utilized, including policy briefs, reports on technology, economic trends, scientific research articles, databases, and insight from established multilateral organizations. The process aspect of scanning stage comprises the development of literature review protocols and the implementation of a survey. The outcome of the scanning stage is a data set highlighting emerging digital economy trends. In the analysis phase, the expert team formulated an evaluation framework and established cooperation with the domain expert to assess the identified trends. These trends were ranked and scored based on a specific criteria to determine their importance for inclusion in the final report. The outcome of the analysis stage is a final set of 6 trend themes, and finally, in last phase of our methodology recommend phase, we offer key implications and recommendations for the stakeholder within the digital economy. Next slide, please. In this slide, we present our digital economy trend blueprints. This report blueprint provides a comprehensive representation of digital economy themes and related trends that have been identified in our analysis. The trend for the 2024 are organized into 6 key themes, as you saw in the slides: AI, trust economy, digital realities, cybersecurity, smart ecosystem, and green economies. We highlight 3 trends against each theme. For example, as you saw on the screen, AI theme consists of 3 trends: Gen AI for cutting-edge software development, AI-powered digital government, accelerating environmental sustainability through Gen AI. We also uncover the driving force, i.e., the digital economy enablers beyond identifying these trends. These enablers include digital infrastructure, data, digital government, emerging technology, and digital skills. For example, for the trend theme AI, as you saw in the pictorial representation of our blueprint, we presented digital government and digital infrastructure as a key enabler in the report blueprint against our AI theme. The report Blueprint also presents the criticality of the each trends identified in the global economy. The report blueprint also presents the criticality of each trends identified in the global digital economy in 2024. For example, in the AI theme, the trend AI digital government has a highly criticality. Now we talk about the key themes. AI, including Gen AI models, are expanding its scope, elegance, and facilitating application across sectors. Gen AI is playing a key role in innovative software development, driving AI-centered digital government, and contributing significantly to accelerate progress towards environmental sustainability. The second theme is trust economy. Blockchain technology has a far-reaching impact across numerous sectors like finance, healthcare, and supply chain management. It ensures transparency, security, and integrity while also playing a key role in transforming sustainability efforts. The third theme, digital reality technologies have become prevalent across various industries, offering a wide range of applications such as hyper-personalization in healthcare, education, retail, fashion, and gaming. In the digital age, cybersecurity, this is another key theme trend of our report, serves as a cornerstone for building trust and imparting confidence among the both consumer and businesses. By creating a reliable online environment, it encourages widespread adoption of digital services and facilitate the rapid expansion of digital economy. The continual advancement in AI-driven cybersecurity often offer cutting-edge tools and mechanisms to effectively combat cyber threats. Exploring the smart ecosystem theme, the expansion of interconnected devices, particularly within IoT devices across numerous sectors like smart home, healthcare industry, and smart cities, it catalyzing optimizing across industry, sparking a revolution in manufacturing, fostering interoperability among IoT devices, and establish the foundation work for rigorously regulated standard to ensure a secure digital environment. Concluding with the final theme, green economy, this theme is marked by the rising adoption of green technologies, the promotion of sustainable agriculture practices, and enforcement of rigorous regulation aimed at facilitating the transaction towards sustainability within the digital economy. Next slide, please. Each of 10 themes is identified as a report developed into holistic structure, which cover 5 sections. Evolution of the 10 themes, a high-level description of the theme, it's along with evolution with the projected market size in forthcoming year. Success to date, the theme existing application across key sector along with some interesting use cases observed globally. Envisioning 24 section of this report of each chapter, digital economy trend prioritized projected by the DCO for the year 2024. Approaching 2024, this section is more focused on key enablers that are necessary for the enablement of projected trends. And in the last section, against each theme trends on each chapter, we explain the key takeaways. Key takeaways for the stakeholders, including public and private sectors, IGOs, IOs, and civil society. Thank you for your attention. I hope you found this presentation insightful. Thank you, Bilal.
Thank you, Dr. Said, for this overview. I would actually like to invite all our experts to join us on a fireside chat. But before we do that, I would like to initiate. Before we initiate our expert conversation, I would like to initiate a poll for our audience, and I would request the participants to answer the questions that you see on the screen just right now. And just please note that the survey responses are anonymous and your responses will not be stored or used in any of the form. So let me give you a couple of minutes and then we will continue our conversation on the fire chat. And also read out the question. In your opinion, which sectors are experiencing the most notable transformations due to the influence of Gen AI? Is it ICT sector, entertainment, media and creative content, healthcare, financials and banking, or any other sector? All right. I can see some results come in and we can see. So the polls mention is that 72% are experiencing, 72% of respondents are noting the ICT sector are experiencing the significant transformation. Sangamitra, I would have a question for you here. AI is reshaping various sectors and creating a significant transformation, specifically Gen AI. In
Yeah.
what ways do you foresee Gen AI transforming traditional sectors like ICT, as we just saw, or education, or health, or entertainment? And what benefits might arise from this disruption? And if you can also share maybe some real world examples of applications where Gen AI has demonstrated significant impact and utility.
Yeah. No, thank you. Very delighted to be part of this forum and interact on these topics.
Pleasure.
I think one of the ways in which we feel generative AI and AI has transformed is that it is no longer, it is not yet another a technological advancement. It is a secular trend which is really going to disrupt in a very positive way, and also with it comes with its risks, but it is going to transform the way we do business and the impact that it can create. Whether it is ICT, as you call it, or any other sector, right? There are three ways that in which generative AI can really create that impact. One is it can drive productivity, which includes time and cost savings never known before. It can help optimize processes, increase speed, efficiencies. It can automate. It'll provide better quality, right? It can be, increased accuracy, make better decisions. It can generate a lot of choice sets, which would take years for some industries, and improve experience. And this, I think, is very, very pertinent to ICT, where content can be personalized, creativity and innovation can be dramatically improved, right? And few other things that we are seeing is that regardless of which area or which industry it can transform, and not this is a general purpose technology. It has been equated many a times with electricity. Which industry do you think was most impacted when electricity came? Everything, right? So similarly, we in our teams, the way we have seen work, and we have done about upwards of 350 engagements, in Gen AI. We believe that a lot of the solutions from one sector or industry can be ported. But broadly, the traditional sectors like education, health, justice, it enables personalized learning, content creation. There are many tools which will dramatically make it, very, very scalable. And one of the things that we are seeing, particularly in education, which is my personal, purely from my personal, what would I say? I work a lot in this space outside of my professional life as well. The vision is that can we provide a very standard content to different nooks and corners so that a lot of people can access high quality education. So pure lesson can be imparted in a very standardized and effective manner through Gen AI. And the schools can do other things like drive collaboration, provide hands-on training, and build real expertise on that. So, these are some of the changes that we are seeing. And I believe that, this is a secular trend which is here to stay.
Thank you so much, Sangamitra. Definitely, Gen AI is absolutely a transformative capability, across various sectors, as you rightfully said, and those are some fascinating use cases you highlighted. And also moving on, I would also like to talk to Nirmal here. I would like to direct this next question to you. What are the current challenges, and limitations of Gen AI, and how are they being addressed? Like, in addition, if you could also cover some critical enablers that you consider important to navigate, such complexities as Sangha was mentioning, and if any challenges in harnessing the full potential of this technology.
Yeah, thank you, Bilal. Excited and delighted to be part of this forum. So, taking one step back, right? So, Gen AI as a technology is a large language model. So, these are models trained on huge volume of text and corpus available in the internet. So, along with the language skills, it brings the skills to reason, analyze text, So it's a large model that does exceptionally well on text, right? And it helps us to think like human. So we have all seen the tremendous amount of insight it brings, having played with like different tools like ChatGPT. But it does have its limitations, right? I think these large language models are sometimes prone to what we call hallucination, right? So these models are trained to be very creative. So in some scenarios, in few scenarios, it tries to hallucinate information that doesn't exist, right? And going on, there are challenges with respect to uh, some of the answers. So these models say hypothetically answer like 95 to 98% of the answers right. But there are a couple of scenarios sometimes if the model is not trained perfectly, it will provide wrong answers. And the challenge is it provides those wrong answers like very, very confidently, right? And in a way, right? And explainability is another high challenge, right? So we do not get a clear explained reason on how the language model addressed a question, right? So what are the sources it referred to, and how did it arrive at the answer? And more from a technology and implementation perspective, so these language models can be like costly if you do not implement the right technology architecture, right? So these are some of the challenges. So to mitigate or avoid this, what firms and organizations should do, this is what we advise some of our clients as well, is to identify like business cases and identify how it can scale, and establish what we call a technology slash AI COE, and focus on like the main areas, right? This is around like implementing solution frameworks for guardrails. For example, how do you tune an LLM and make sure it answers question 100% of the times, right? What kind of guardrails you can put so that model stays and answers within the context, right? And what kind of training fine tuning frameworks you can define, and building explainability, right? So if, for example, if you are building an assistant or a pilot across different businesses, you would want the model to give an answer and also give you some kind of traceability on what kind of guidelines it looked at or how it arrived at the answer. So explainability is key to adoption of technology, right? So that is another pillar we need to look at. And architecture and scaling, right? So as we move towards like more organizations want to deploy, suppose say, the right LLM architecture, whether you want to go with one of the hyperscalers or APIs versus you want to deploy a model locally. So architecture and your scaling strategy, right? So these are like four pillars firms should look at to mitigate some of the challenges with respect to LLM, right? If they're not trained properly. So
No, thanks so much, Nirmal. I mean, it seems like focusing on these pillars seems to be the need of the hour. In a very structured way, as you just mentioned, um, and especially, I also now want to also now direct this conversation to Faisal. Faisal, given your extensive expertise in the IT industry or ICT industry, can you also shed some light on the future of Gen AI, and how would the industry as a whole benefit from this capability?
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much for this forum. I think my colleagues have already spoke about the uses of the Gen AI. And if we see what's happening, I mean, this is, as Sangha said, that this is as big of an opportunity or as big of a change as electricity and internet was. So we are living in this era where, everything was being disrupted, whether it is, private sector, public sector, everyone is affected. You got 5 million users from ChatGPT in first 5 days. Millions of users are using it currently. So I mean, yeah, so it is affecting our future. So future is very bright. Let me tell you, we often discuss about this, that this is just the first inning of Gen AI. There are more to come. The big tech companies are working, rigorously on developing new large language models. And there are a lot of experimentation going on in public sector, private sector. People are experimenting with different use cases, education, healthcare, banking and finance. I mean, we've been working in these areas, lately. But if you see the future, there are a lot of things to be, to see. Like, uh, in the future, what I see is that there is a big, fear about losing jobs. I mean, I saw a report from IMF that 40% of the mundane jobs will be lost by chatbot by 2030. Gartner
Mhm.
was saying that there were about 20 to 25% of the call center agents will be replaced by the bots. So future is like it's panicky, or there are some opportunities also. So whenever there is a disruption, these kind of confusions are there. But I think it is very bright, and there are a lot of opportunities for everyone. We just need to align ourselves with the technology, and we need to learn. And we need to the companies like yourself and big tech and governments, they need to more focus on the digital literacy of the AI. Everyone should be knowing that where are we going? How can I take benefit out of these tools and technologies? I think that's the future. So we need to keep a close eye. This is first inning. There's a lot to come.
Thank you so much, Faisal. So, if this will pose dangers on jobs, how can organization address such displacement challenges, arising from widespread adoption of AI, if it's going to actually impact jobs?
So the organizations and individuals, I mean, they have to work together. We need to develop a new kind of jobs. I mean, it is creating new kind of jobs. Like, uh, if I remember that 3 decades ago when there was a digital transformation going on, and people are, shifting from manual systems to digital systems. So there was a fear that, people will lost their jobs, but it didn't happen. The digitalization created new jobs. I think this time also, this technology will be creating a new kind of jobs. We just have to learn this technology. Everyone, put their 2 cents to learn the new tools and technologies which the technology is offering. I mean, I think that's the way that we have to go. There should not be
Very, very. No, very, very insightful. And again, so I'll read out this question, Nirmal, back to you. Um, Considering the imperative of making Gen AI accessible and inclusive as well, because we also have to keep that in mind, giving accessibility to Gen AI, particularly within the ICT spectrum. What are your insights on the approach that public and private sectors should adapt to address the concept of digital divide and promoting diversity as well?
Uh, okay. So these, I think there are significant effort that are being put it in the research of large language models to provide accessibility across like different sectors, right? So purely in terms of innovation, before answering your question, so there are new large language models that are getting created across like different by different players in the world. And also, there are targeted language models that are getting created by different industry sectors specific to the domain, right? I think in terms of like healthcare as a domain, there are like firms and organizations working on making it available. And slightly going to like in terms of like public sectors, right? So in there are a lot of countries, there is a lot of research around training models in local languages, right? So currently we are seeing like tremendous results on the large language model available in the open world, right? So once the language models for specific countries come in, so that will open up like access to the models for each of the individuals and in public sectors and other stuff, right? So the researchers that are happening on both sides of the spectrum, right? One, creating new models, expanding and translating and making it available for like across for all the common folks as well, right? So that is a trend that is evolving. It will continue to evolve, and there are like a lot of focus on public sector as well on the research side.
Excellent. And Sangat, again, I'll just move on to this point, just continuing. Organizations are grappling with with implications of adoption, right? Either there's job losses or there are some sort of, ensuring that digital divide is being addressed. How do you think organizations can best, and in your experience of your implementation, how do you think organizations should best get themselves ready on how to navigate this changing landscape?
That is a great question, Biral, and I think that is exactly where the focus should be. Now that we have this disruptive technology and we have seen what it can do, what are the different entities actually? How can they play this? So first, private sector. It will have profound implications, no questions about it. So there should be guardrails, there should be proper infrastructure, proper um, uh, ethics and trustworthiness of the AI so that the workforce can benefit from having a co-pilot. Think of it as a productivity tool, right? It can, in many cases, we have seen that it can be a very, very effective assistant. What that means, whether you are writing a report, whether you are doing a research, whether you are looking an investor pack, whether you are looking at content, whether you are creating an ad, in many, many different ways generative AI can process a lot more information very fast and tag it and summarize it. It really is a great assistant for people to really dramatically improve the quality of their work and their overall productivity. So, private sector should focus on harnessing this productivity so that the human workforce that they already have can be put to different uses much more transformative. The second thing I would say is that for their own productivity, while a lot of use cases are around efficiency, etc., the amount of transformation that this can do towards generating new markets, generating new drugs, increasing the time to market, reducing the time to market for new drugs. All of these are really important and powerful impact that this technology can provide, which the private sector can harness. Overall, I would strongly recommend that adoption will be dependent on transparency and accountability. There is no substitute for it. And the private sector needs to take this complete ownership for the same. Moving on to public sector, this is where is a chance to really drive a lot of equity in the society, right? How do we engage actively? How do we drive collaboration? How do we create framework? How do we have regulatory frameworks which drive cybersecurity, data privacy, sustainability? What impact can generative AI create on sustainability, education, healthcare? These are extremely important and pivotal questions which affect the quality of life that public sector can take on. Moving on to intergovernmental bodies, I think this is where the focus, I believe, should be on collaboration for global transformation. It should be based on AI governance. It should be based on shared knowledge, insights, and it should really transcend geographical boundaries and promote ethical, responsible, and inclusive AI practices. These, I feel, once these are taken in the right spirit, the amount of impact that we can see in the economy and the society in a more equitable manner can be very profound.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sangar, Rika, Nirmal, and Faisal for your valuable insights. Before we continue with our conversations, we have another poll for our audiences, which you'll see come up on your screen just now. And I will just read out just basically answer it directly on your screens, and we will basically be announcing the results shortly. What do you believe are the top three Gen AI ethical challenges that require a collaborative approach from stakeholders, including governments, businesses, civil society, and international organizations? Biases in training data, copyright, privacy, job displacements, and explainability. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes to us to receive the answers, and then we will continue the conversations. Okay, so in order of top three, First one being biases in training data, second one being copyright, and the third one being privacy. These could be the top three Gen AI ethical challenges. Dr. Sayed, I would like to have a follow-up question with you on this point. Could you elaborate more on the ethical challenges that could be posed by Gen AI and its tools, and suggest ways to tackle them?
Thank you for asking these important questions. As you know, generative AI is an emerging and groundbreaking area of AI that creates and understands quality text, images, audios, videos, 3D models, and other content from training data sets. Gen AI-based systems like ChatGPT would be helpful for the stakeholders to improve decision-making process, expedite operations, content generation, develop cost-effective solution, and improve customer experiences to boost the digital economy. However, there are several ethical challenges of these emerging technologies that hinder Gen AI adoption in the digital age. I am sharing a few Gen AI ethical challenges based on the poll results, such as biases in training data, copyrights, and data privacy. Copyright. Gen AI training datasets and model output present significant intellectual property risk, potentially breaching copyrighted or trademark material. Additionally, international scientific research bodies, including ICMJE, have initiated discussion on the implication of Gen AI tool like ChatGPT raise concern about their impact on traditional authorship models and the need to address the issue such as ghost writing and copyright infringement. The second key ethical challenge that, as we saw in the result of our poll, is biases in training data. The initial step towards developing a more ethically generative AI and its tool involves scrutinizing the quality of its training data, often sourced from freely available internet sources. Concern arises due to inherent difficulty in ensuring the accuracy of such data, which may contain biases such as discriminatory languages, social stereotypes, and exclusionary norms. The third critical ethical challenges that we result from our report is privacy. Data privacy emerged as a key concern in AI domain, particularly with the advent of Gen AI and its models. So it's also required that I propose some proposal how to tackle these challenges of AI, including Gen AI and related tools. Like one of the key, like when we are progressing and we are generating our digital economy trend reports, and particularly on the AI chapters. So one of the issues that we see and we recommend as a recommendation is the formulation of ethical guidelines by the stakeholders for Gen AI model like ChatGPT to use this technology for good of humanity instead of misusing it. Business must prioritize data privacy, ethics, and compliance with regulation when using Gen AI model in their digital product to maintain trust with consumers. Stakeholders should craft appropriate standards and principles aimed to enable users to safely, ethically, effectively utilize Gen AI-based product to foster a human-centric approach to responsible AI. The business community may also take the decision to adopt AI early in the business areas to generate business values and contribute to a successful and inclusive digital economy model. I trust that I have answered your question. Thank you, Mr. Bilal.
Thank you, Dr. Sayed. Thanks for this answer. Um, Sangha, last question to you. What do you see as the future trend of Gen AI at a 2 to 3 year horizon, and how might the advancements in in this fields like shape the industry or society?
Yeah, I think currently generative AI is in a hype cycle. And over the next 2 to 3 years, I envision that whether it is our clients from private and government sector or countries, they will start adopting generative AI in different forms. Um, they will move from really doing pilots, small POCs, to really scaling and harnessing the power of generative AI. And if we are able to pull the trustworthy framework around generative AI, we will see tremendous adoption purely because of the promise that it holds. And we believe that it will democratize access to creative and analytical capabilities. It will really enable individuals and businesses to produce work of quality and scale, which was previously unattainable. And it will hence free up a lot of human capacity for more transformative ways. And we will increasingly see what we call the age of width, as in humans and machines collaborating for really, really transformative and very difficult tasks.
Thank you so much, Sangha, for that. To all our speakers, thank you so much, Dr. Sayed, Sangamitra, Faisal, and Nirmal, for your insightful responses. We would like to now open the floor to the audience for their questions. And I'd like to remind everyone to please drop your questions in the Zoom chat box. And you can also direct your questions to a specific speaker if you'd like to. Let me go to the chat box to initiate any of this Q&A session. All right. Let's go. Question for Faisal. What skills are required to be relevant in the Gen AI market?
Yeah, thank you. So the skills which are required, number one, you have to learn the AI frameworks. You have to understand how LLM models work. There are two kinds of models. One are very closed systems like GPT and Gemini and other frameworks, and some other are open source. So I would prefer that if, especially in the developing countries, one must, experiment with open source models, learn how, they work, fine tune them, use them on their own use cases. I think that's the best way to learn and interact with these kind of systems. That's very important. So this skill is very, very important, and we need to learn how to use these kind of, especially the open source model.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question will be from for Sangha. What are the challenges facing the developing countries to take the initial steps to apply Gen AI?
Yeah, there are quite a few challenges. One is, I would say around the absolute framework and trustworthiness of AI. I keep saying that because it can really expose, organizations and people to a sizable amount of risk. That is the first. Second is skill availability. Generative AI requires cross-functional mix or pod of skills, for it to come to fruition and be scaled. So that is another, big area. The third one is data and cloud and all the underlying infrastructure that is needed for large-scale Gen AI adoption. And finally, I would say that the compute or the high-performance computing AI infrastructure plays a very pivotal role in the cost as well as the adoption of Gen AI. And access to the best quality high performance computing at an optimized cost is yet another inhibitor.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question I will have for Dr. Sayed. Can you discuss any ethical considerations or concerns associated with the widespread adoption of digital tech?
Yeah, I think the technology part is also critical. That when creating some models that are used, particularly when ethics is based on two aspects. One of the key aspect is that the technology products should be provide some insight about their algorithms. The algorithm should be transparent, and the actual exactly the algorithm is used by the developer. So this is one of the aspects, that it should be transparent to the user who will use it. And the second thing is the data, that when the private sector industries use the data, this data should be more it should not include the personal data, private data. So, and if someone use it, but it should be get some permission, some so that the right of the user should be on the data, not they without the permission of the user, the industry use this data. So these are the some things that again, this is again went to the key two ethical challenges that we identify in the poll, privacy and somehow the transparency aspects. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We have one more question. I think I can take this. I'm asking about the playback of the webinar. Yes, this will be available on DCO's YouTube channel. So you can access it again because this session is being recorded. There's basically a two-part question. One question being, and again, Faisal, I'll direct this to you. Any idea which sector will be the early adopter of AI? And the second part is how AI will affect the education system as a whole.
So yeah, the early adopters, I mean, it's been adopted in many areas, but the early adopters can be the content creation areas where there are creative work is being carried on, like, like SEO, it's been adopted there rigorously. Uh, in as far as the education is concerned, there are bit challenges. I mean, the education is undergoing into a lot of innovation where there are solutions which needs to be developed for a self-paced learning, a chatbot which can help, which can tutor the students, especially I see one from Han Migo. They were working with Chat GPT and creating this kind of chatbot. So this is one area, education. A lot of work is going on there. Uh, so that's one area where you can do that. Other than that, healthcare is difficult because there are a lot of legal challenges out there. It's not that simple. I would say banking and finance is one area where a lot of traction is there, as far as the AI co-pilots and people are experimenting with that area. So yeah, these are some of the sectors I believe.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think you could. There's one question which I think you have technically answered through your speech during the fireside chat. There's a question asking about what are the potential implications of the trends or digital economy trends on job creation and workforce development. I recall you saying that although there are some jobs being replaced, but new jobs are also being created.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is opportunity also. I mean, we just need to redirect our learning and everything towards, gaining the knowledge about AI tools, how these works. Prompt engineering is something, everyone should learn. I mean, uh, I saw a report by Gartner that by 2026, the web applications and the mobile applications will be using generative AI to build all those applications. So the software engineers, they must also, get the knowledge base, how to interact with the, LLMs and how can you develop applications using that. Uh, People are using it for software engineering, getting help from the Gen AI tools like GitHub Copilot and others. So yeah, so we need to just redirect ourselves, learning AI tools, keep a close eye that how this industry is going. So as I said, it's the first inning. There's a lot to come in coming years. People are talking about AGI, artificial general intelligence. That's a new type of AI. So there's a lot of things to be coming in a couple of years. So very important. We all need to keep a close eye on this.
Thanks. Yeah, definitely we do. Next question, Sangha, I'll direct this to you. In what ways can we generate business growth from AI?
Yeah. I think business growth is a corollary to everything that we've discussed, right? The generative AI as a technology has many transformative powers. It can drive efficiency, it can drive productivity, it can drive accuracy, it can drive transformation. Therein lies the source of business growth. From our experiences, Nirmal, you may agree with me and you can feel free to opine. We are seeing that generative AI is actually a door opener for a broader set of experiences, broader set of solutions that we can take for our clients. Nirmal, would you agree?
Yeah, no, 100% Sangha, I think, right? So we have seen with a client where I think we are seeing opportunities that typically were not there, right, before. I think take contact center as an example, right? So as Faisal called out, so we can use Gen AI in the context of call center to automate a lot of tasks. But what that does is it frees up the bandwidth of the existing contact center agents to focus on providing better experience for some of their customers, right? So these are areas they have not addressed before. So the automation now or the AI enablement now helps them to spend time on providing better customer experiences or challenges that they have not traditionally solved, right? So yeah.
Okay, I think we have time for one last question. So again, I think we can keep the same panel going. Sangha and Nirmal, what are the implications of the current infrastructure trends for the integration of Gen AI in green tech, and how do you think it shapes public sector strategies?
I can take a stab at that. A lot of our offerings around sustainability, right, is tied to nation building, right? A lot of investments is happening in infrastructure across the world in various ways. And it is important to embed generative AI and its solutions and what it can do into the nation building process itself so that everything that is built from grounds up, already has the tenets of sustainability and make for more ecosystem friendly devices. The other thing that we are seeing is optimization. While a lot of Gen AI infrastructure on which it runs really is energy intensive, we are starting to see a lot of innovation around optimization of this. So together over a long period of time, if one takes a strategic view of Gen AI and embarks on this journey, we have seen that it will definitely be more green and healthier for the planet.
Just to add on that, right? So we are also seeing like increasing trend among some of our utility clients on how they could use Gen AI, for example, to optimize their distribution or like get better performance out of their energy grids. And waste management is another area. So we are seeing like using vision-based LLMs and vision-based Gen AI. How could they like optimally operate waste management as a function? And there are like other use cases in like vegetation and plantation as well, which an intersection of computer vision and Gen AI and AI could play a really big part generally.
So one thing I just like, just a small thing. So, as a developing country, especially, I believe that every country should be having its own national AI. So they need to train models of their own data because these big tech companies, these are black boxes for us. So every country should invest into infrastructure, and secondly, they should build their own national AI, their own models. So that is very important. Just to add.
No, right, rightfully said. Thank you so much, everyone. This was indeed an enriching session, and I hope our audiences enjoyed as well. Finally, we would love to hear your thoughts and feedback on the session and the future of digital economy as well. So, if I could request all our attendees to scan the QR code, which will be shared on the screen, or click on the link, which will be provided on the chat as well. If you'd like to access the report, you will notice that you can scan the QR code on the bottom right of the screen. It was across the whole presentation. You can get access to the full version of the report as well. I thank you all once again for your participation. The DCO strives to empower DCO cross-border digital market businesses to thrive in the global digital economy. We will continue to host similar sessions to cover other tech trends as well, so definitely stay tuned. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Rich.